I believe that there are channelers, mediums, and psychics who can get glimpses into the past and into the future. Unfortunately, there are too many that are out there, self-serving, selfish, and self-centered. Please challenge everybody, even those whom you care about personally, may have been misled.
You have 2-566-7330. Okay, Robert, it's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rod. And again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that we haven't completely destroyed your belief systems and the foundation of your existence. Again, we simply are attempting to provide material that is out there. It's documented. It's available. Please question and challenge everything that we've said and find out for yourselves. Thank you again to Rod and Dave Hinkson, to Ivy West, the American Freedom Radio Network, my family and my crew. Thank you to all of you for making it possible for me to share this story with you. In this next segment, I would like to touch on something that is extraordinarily personal to me. It is about Hopi prophecy, about the petroglyphs, and about the coming events. As I said at the very beginning of the program, I am Native American. I am a full-blood. I am half Hopi and half Apache. But I must stress that I am not a spokesperson for any tribe, for any group. I am not a medicine man. I'm not a shaman. I do not hold any position within any of the tribes. I am, as you, a common man. I simply happen to be of Native American extraction. I have been fortunate enough to live my culture and my world. As I said earlier, I have been a dancer and a performer. I have been able to act in movies, perform in documentaries, and present my dancing to numerous audiences, to hundreds of thousands of people across the globe. I'm an extremely fortunate man, very likely the luckiest man I know on this planet. The Hopi prophecies. In Native America, one of the most highly respected groups, probably the most written about group in the Native American world, are the Hopi Indians. They live in the near Four Corners area of northern Arizona. One of the Hopi prophecies that appears to be coming to fruition is a prophecy about the return of a blue star Kachina. According to the Hopi tradition, a Kachina is the spirit of the powers that be. If you were to take an eagle and strip him of its feathers and its talons and its beak, if you were to remove the physical body, what you would have left, whether you call it the breath, the soul, or the essence, that is the Kachina of the eagle. It is the spirit. If you were to remove the ice, crystals, the particles that create the skin of the snowflake, the soul or the essence that remains is known as the snowflake Kachina. The Hopi believe that everything has a spirit. Wind, trees, rain, the world, rocks, animals, everything has a spirit. They all have Kachina. The Hopi believe, in general, that we are nearing the end of the fourth world. This does not mean that the world is going to be destroyed, obliterated, and simply cease to exist. It means that this cycle is about to come to a close. One of the signs of the closing of the fourth world is the return of a figure known as Nangasahu. Now, we deal with Nangasahu at quite lengthy effort in the book called Prophecy. Nangasahu is a very, very dramatic figure. He's a tall figure with a four-armed black cross on its face. It has an enormous war bonnet, feathers that peak above its head and trail all the way down to the floor. It is said that Nangasahu will appear in the final days of the close of the fourth world. One of the distinctive features of Nangasohu is that he, number one, is a star. He is a spirit of the stars. And the long trailing headdress is a sign that he has an extraordinarily long tail. Recently, in July of last year, there was a discovery by two young amateur astronomers, one in New Mexico and one here in Phoenix, Arizona, who pointed their telescopes up into the sky, and they made an astonishing discovery, a comet in the vicinity of Jupiter. They named the comet in honor of these two individuals and their discovery, and it was known as the Hale-Bopp comet. What is most intriguing about Hale-Bopp is that when it was discovered in its location outside the orbit of Jupiter, it was shining too brightly. It simply, in its place, could not be giving off as much light as it should. Under normal circumstances, a comet at that distance from the sun will not glow as brightly. All comets glow because of the solar wind. It is the particles leaving the sun, striking the surface of the comet, that make, one, the tail and the brightness. Comet Hale-Bopp was far too bright, and its tail was far too long. Its tail measured approximately 2 astronomical units, 2 AU, which means the tail was pretty close to 2 million miles long. I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Nearly 200 million miles long. This comet appeared to make course corrections. As it approached the Earth's orbit and continued around, it began to act erratically. It is not acting like any comet in our history. Hopi prophecy suggests that is exactly what the returning Nangasohu would do. We had last year begun to talk about the return of a particular star, only to find that in July it was discovered. Now, what could possibly be the link with crop circles? I invite you to receive a catalog from one Mr. Colin Andrews, probably the leading expert on crop circles, and he has undertaken a task of diagramming and keeping a record of all of the crop circle formations over the last many years. On July the 22nd of 1995, on that evening, amateur astronomers Hale and Bopp discovered the comet. On that very same evening, only one crop circle appeared in England. It was an extraordinarily large circle, but in its middle was a 4-armed cross. I suggest that we were being told that an announcement was made that on July 22nd, the 4-armed cross, the return of Nangasohu, the figure with the 4-armed cross on its face, and we were being told that Hopi prophecy, that ancient prophecy, was being fulfilled. According to the prophecies in Egypt, there is a comet which is supposed to return at the end of a royal period. This comet is going to be preceded by 2 smaller comets, but still distinctive and bright in their appearance. Curiously, Hale-Bopp is going to make its most dramatic show on April the 1st of 1997. Just a few months ago, in late March, another comet was discovered by the gentleman in Japan whose name was Hyakutake. We were treated to a display in the skies that was extraordinary. Hyakutake made such a display that people were having night watch parties. But here's an interesting coincidence. Hyakutake on April the 1st of 1996 was within just a few seconds of arc from the very same point that Hale Bopp will be on April the 1st of 1997. This suggests a possibility, a curious coincidence at the very least, that they are in the same place and virtually the same time, 1 year apart. I am going to suggest that Hopi prophecy predicted the arrival of Hyakutake, and it is predicting one more comet. It is very likely going to appear in September or October. It, too, is going to make quite a display, quite a show in the skies. It is the second precursor, the second harbinger to the comet Hale-Bopp. Am I suggesting that Hale-Bopp signals the end of the fourth world? Not at all. I would like to share with you at this point a second Hopi prophecy. Many of the Hopi elders, with all due respect, have suggested another prophecy about the return of the Bahana, that it in fact tells us that a great white brother will soon appear at the end of the fourth world to set things aright. Our elders have interpreted this to mean an Anglo-Caucasian male, very likely the President of the United States, who will surface and who will bring the Hopi people back to their rightful place, and that peace and order will be restored, and we will have a one-world unity. I respect my elders. I have never betrayed them, but I, with all respect, disagree. I suggest that the Hopi prophecy of the return of Bahana, the great white brother, is actually the return of a great white companion